right. Welcome to today's episode of Your Daily Scrum. I'm professional Scrum trainer Ryan Ripley. That's professional Scrum trainer Todd Miller. We get together each and every day to talk about Scrum to help you get a little bit better, to help understand the framework just a little bit deeper. We take your questions in the comment section below. Like and subscribe so you never miss a video. Check us out on the YouTube comments and all that fun stuff, the Twitter machine, the Facebook stuff. We got all the socials out there as well. Today, Todd, we have an interesting question, right? When does a Scrum team change their sprint length?
Yeah, this one came in the comments. And like, when's the optimal time for a Scrum team to change? I think we've done a few videos on sprint length. So like, if you're looking for that, maybe you could put some stuff in the comments or anything around like who determines sprint length. What are some things to consider for sprint length? What do you think? We can kind of maybe pass that subject, just concentrate on when the sprint length might change.
Sure.
Is that fair? I feel like there's an event. I feel like there's an event, Ryan,
where we would think about possibly changing the sprint length.
Mm-hmm.
Are you thinking like the retrospective?
I was thinking that exact event would be a great time to discuss and decide upon this.
Yeah, I think that's the right event to at least give it a shot, at least think about it. It's one of those where you're also talking about your definition of done. You're talking about quality. It's a good time to talk about sprint length. It might be an interesting time to think about why we're struggling with our sprint length. Mm-hmm. And that could be the center of a retro, right? If we're unable to get to done, if we're getting too much, if we're getting done way too early, if we're, there could be market conditions have changed. There's all sorts of reasons for a sprint length, right? How long can we focus? How often do requirements change? How stable is the marketplace? It's a planning horizon. And if some of those planning inputs have changed or shifted on us, it might be a great time in the retro to get those in the open and have a conversation about it.
Yeah. Or stakeholders are constantly surprised in a sprint review.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, if that's a symptom that you're experiencing, stakeholders are constantly surprised and a sprint review might be going away too long from them. And I think, though, you hit the nail on the head here in the sprint retrospective. In that event, I think that's where you have this conversation, this discussion. To be honest with you, it might be this might be something where you don't make the immediate thing. You just say, hey, I think that we were going to do this. Let's do this after 2 sprints. Right. Because let's be honest about this. Changing the sprint length is a really big deal. I know it sounds simple on the surface, but you are reconfiguring that planning horizon and time frame for which people have come accustomed to working, and the amount of work that they have learned how to limit within the boundaries of a sprint. It's a very disruptive thing. It's not something that should happen often. It could take a little bit more planning and preparation. I think I'm okay with that. I don't think you should wait months if this conversation is coming up, maybe a sprint or 2, or just do it immediately, rip the Band-Aid off, but that's up to you. But retrospective is the right place.
Yep. I like it. And just keep in mind, it changes your cadence. It changes alignment with certain business goals and activities. And like you're saying, Todd, there's an impact here. It's not a trivial decision, but if it needs to switch, maybe the retro is the right spot to do it.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments. What do you think? Have you seen the sprint length change for a Scrum team? When did that occur? What was the impact? Did you see it? Was it a net positive, net negative? How did the organization around the Scrum team handle it? We'd love to know in the comments. And who knows, maybe those comments or questions will turn into future videos. Be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss when we actually address some of your questions and comments as well. Check out the socials, Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. We're very active on there. Lots of good discussions. All right, I'm active on Twitter. I like to argue. And so if you want to pick up an Agile topic and go at it, hit me up on Twitter. We'll have that kind of fun. Some videos are going to pop up. Check those out as well. We think those are helpful. For Todd Miller, I'm Ryan Ripley. Go forward, do some great Scrum things. Reconsider your sprint length if you need to. Don't be afraid to change it, but make sure you understand how it's going to impact the future. All right, everybody, we'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one.